let's start with Chris in the UK. Chris, you're live with Eric.
Awesome.
Hi.
Hello, Eric, and thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling in. It says in the notes that you are wanting to talk about whether or not we're in a new Satanic Panic or if the last one never ended.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Fun topic to start off with, right?
You know what? It's definitely something that I've noticed a lot of people who come out of religion will talk about it and either not realize just how old this whole thing has been and how long it's been going for, or not recognize that it's still happening. But I don't know. What's your take?
I've honestly been torn about it. So I'm also coming from so I'm an atheist, but I'm coming from also a background I'm Jewish. So when I hear these QAnon conspiracies, and a lot of it comes back down to blood libel or Jewish conspiracies, and I guess I'm partly coming from that, but also just growing up in the 90s and hearing about satanic panics and, of course, what it became known as.
Oh yeah.
Fear of this and fear of that. Can't do this, can't do that.
It keeps coming up. For me, I grew up in the 90s as well. 90s and early 2000s. And I think the most impact, and the most like in my face it ever was just after Columbine. There was there was this big kind of blaming Marilyn Manson on the shootings because the shooters listened to that evil music, and I had to promise I would never listen to Marilyn Manson. Now I don't listen to Marilyn Manson for entirely different reasons. But
totally on your side, I get that.
Yeah, but it was definitely a process of kind of discovering that it wasn't this hypnotic evil. It kind of reminds me, there was a Brendan Fraser movie where he gets locked in a bunker and grows up in a bunker because they thought that the bombs fell, and he's told that not to go near the adult bookstore because there's poison gas. And so he runs screaming from it, poison gas, run away. And like, that's kind of how I felt with things. There was just this absolute sense of danger and fear around things that just don't deserve it. But I don't think it really ever ended. I really don't. I think that we can find stuff going straight through from, the 70s and 80s when people were really pushing against, Dungeons and Dragons and rock and roll and all of that. And it just keeps going forward.
Oh, yeah.
But
backmasking.
Oh my gosh. Isn't it amazing, this kind of idea that we're just so impressionable that we pick that up?
Pareidolia on its extreme.
That's exactly what it is. And it's almost a trained pareidolia because you're looking for evil words. You're not looking for, the voice going backwards, going bunny rabbit. No, you're looking for Satan. And so,
right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. For people who are relatively new joining us, because I am finding out more and more that there are lots of just new people joining us. Check out pareidolia. Pareidolia is an interesting fact of our psychology and the way that we understand the world around us. And it's just not a good way to ontologically figure out what's really there. I think... go ahead.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
No.
I think because there's a delay. I'm calling from over in the UK. So
Gotcha.
I'm coming from it so I now teach in a college, but I used to teach high school up until very recently for a good 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. And so what I've noticed, and I'm just wondering if it's maybe become just an offshoot of it, worse or mutated because of social media. Because I'll hear, I had a lot of teenagers, bring in very interesting things they would hear or see online, and it's just trying to teach them some basic positive skepticism, critical thinking, Socratic dialogue, just to be able to, okay, you saw this on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and it's just right full of this really insane stuff. And
Yeah.
trying to explain it to them, and it's just like, well, that's what we hear, and that's what our parents tell us, or that's what we keep hearing from our friends. And it just feels like, I don't know, a repackaged Satanic Panic, and then with QAnon and who knows what hell is next.
I entirely agree. I don't think that we're more prone to it, but we have more of it, if that makes sense. That it's just
Yeah.
more accessible. Heck, I remember right after 9/11, someone showed me how to fold a dollar bill to make it look like an image of the Twin Towers falling, which was
Oh my God, you did that too?
yeah, you did that. You're in the UK and you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Well, no, I grew up in the United States.
okay. Yeah, I did that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. In that way, we are gullible, I guess. But it's really, really important. I mean, okay, so you grew up in the States, so I can say this with total confidence. It's interesting that as kids, we're taught, our times tables. We're taught history, which is problematic in its own way. We're taught science. We're taught what to think. We're taught what is important to us, but we're never taught how to think, how to reason. And it feels like we are living in a society that is exactly the result of that. So I really hope we get
completely
better.
agree.
Yeah. But Chris, you are not the only Chris from the UK, like in the call screening. There are so many
That's
callers.
hilarious.
Yeah, there are so many callers. I'm probably going to try and fire through them, but I didn't want to leave before, if there's anything else you wanted to talk about, I'd be happy to listen.
No, that's just the main thing. I just was curious, thinking if I'm the only one who's thinking this, or if I'm crazy, or
No.
I'm overthinking things.
No.
That's all.
I think it is
Because
absolutely.
I'll be teaching classes coming up, and I'm trying to just, to get some notes and ideas for things, so I don't walk into a university classroom and go, well, this is what's going on, guys.
I think what might be interesting, I'm going to kind of pat myself on the back on this one, is I did a guest spot on a show called Miracles and Atheists, where I spoke to one of the originators of a lot of that conspiracy nonsense. And I'm blanking on his name, so I'm going to kind of depend on the live chat to remind me. But if I remember, I'll put the link to it in the description for this video. Just kind of putting a face to it. There are people who have been pushing this narrative consistently from the very beginning. And yeah, it's interesting to see. But
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck with your class. And thank you for calling in.
Appreciate it. Cheers, mate.
Take care. Oh, okay. That's one call down. I didn't pass out. I was reminded by our incredible mods that coffee existed right before the show, so I filled up a V-sized mug of coffee, and I've been waiting for it to cool down. You guys are in trouble. If I got to go to the restroom, we're boned. Like we're gonna be stuck. I really, really hope we do well today.